Hello and welcome to another episode of My Backstage Pass. This is your host, Lee Zimmerman, with my producer, co-host, and good buddy, Billy Hubbard. And today, folks, oh my gosh, Billy, can you believe it?
No.
Today, we are introducing a true legend. We have Mr. Ray Stevens joining us.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I'll never live up to that.
We threw the applause button in there, Ray, just for you. We don't normally
It sounded
do
real
that
to me.
early
It sounded absolutely real.
on. So how are you doing, Ray? It's great to speak with you. How are you doing?
I'm humming E flat, as they say in the music business, and getting ready to modulate. So,
Oh, there you go. Well, you have been. I mean, okay. Had the late James Brown not passed on, we might not be able to say this, but I think we can say this safely. Ray Stevens, you are the hardest working man in showbiz.
well, I don't know about that. But,
You have 5 albums this year, 5 albums, and we're only beginning October here.
It always looks like you're having fun, too.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, COVID closed down my cabaret showroom, so I had to do something.
Yeah.
So I got in the studio.
And you have your own studio, so you can go in and do recording whenever you want, right?
Well, if I can get the engineer, sometimes he's hard to get, but
Okay.
most of the time he's available.
All right. Well, my buddy over here, Billy, he's a pretty good engineer. You let him know if you need him, and he'll just zip his way to Nashville. I'm volunteering him. You notice that?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Well, I might take you up on that, so be careful.
Little plug. The check's in the mail, Billy.
yeah.
So Ray, honestly, I don't know where to begin. You are legendary, Ray Stevens, and the hits that you've had, the music that you have contributed to the soundtrack of our lives. I mean, it really kind of takes my breath away. Do you ever look at your Wikipedia page and think, "Gosh, that's me"? Can you judge yourself in the third person?
I'm afraid to look at a Wikipedia page. I've never seen it.
You've never seen your Wikipedia page?
No, I didn't know I had a Wikipedia page.
Of course you do.
Okay.
Right.
Good. I'll look it up.
That is the highest acclamation of legendary status when you have your own Wikipedia page. I mean, Billy and I are yearning to have a Wikipedia page someday. And
how do you spell Wikipedia?
Oh man, you're tossing the tough questions at me here.
Yeah,
I think it's Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. Okay.
Wikipedia, and it's basically, well, it's like the Encyclopedia Britannica these days. Anything you need to look up, you type in the name, and Wikipedia will come up. And Billy's got it on the screen right now.
Unfortunately, they don't. You can put anything on there. It doesn't get very much editing control. So.
Oh yeah, that's why you should look at it, because if you need somebody to edit it, you'll be able to do that. But
yeah, okay.
Strange. People don't know what they're doing. They post anything on there, man.
Well, that's true. You can't trust anybody.
Like fake news.
That's true. That's true. So before we backtrack, I mean, obviously, I think folks know you and your work. Your hits: Ahab the Arab, The Streak, Gitarzan. I mean, and it's funny, they weren't necessarily politically correct back in the day, but that's before we had to even worry about political correctness. They were just funny and lighthearted, and man, they still stand the test of time, right?
Well, yeah, and the test of politically correct does not stand up either. You could call anything politically incorrect if you want to.
It's stifling.
Ridiculous.
It's stifling, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think you, sir, you prove that great music and great humor, that is what we should judge things by. And and that's what you did. And beginning, I guess, in the 60s, you had a streak. Well, pardon the, you had the streak as a hit, but you had a number of hit records that launched you on a career that continues to go strong these days. And you had serious songs, Everything is Beautiful and Misty. I mean, and you were and I shouldn't say you are a crossover artist that has had success in any number of genres.
Well, I sometimes think that categories of music are
yes,
a little stifling because, music, there's not but 12 notes, and you got to use all of them in any type of music you want to name. And it just all depends on the inflection of your voice and the arrangement that you use, the instruments that you use to make the record that determines what constitutes different styles in some people's minds of music. So what I'm trying to say, long story short, is I like all kinds of music, and I think that you can really inhibit yourself if you want to stick to what other people have said. This is country, or this is pop, or this is rhythm and blues, or this is whatever. So, I just sort of put on my blindfold and go in the studio.
And you've been so successful with that too. You've had hits on different radio formats. But I agree with you. I mean, I think that formatting in such a strict way is, that's a mechanism of the music industry too. To put people.
They had to do something. They had to do something to split up the pie, I guess.
I guess
the listener, he doesn't care. I mean, he either likes it or he doesn't, or she either likes it or she doesn't. So,
right.
That's the rule that I go by.
Well, I recall when I was growing up, and your music was on the radio. Formats didn't matter because we could hear a Ray Stevens song followed by the Beatles, followed by whoever, and they all fit, top 40 radio, they all fit. So I'm a little nostalgic for days like that, I really
am. Yeah. Well, what goes around comes around. So, it ain't over till it's over. So keep your fingers crossed.
Well, I think with these 5 albums, and again, I say 5 albums in 2021 alone, we're just starting October. That's pretty amazing. I think you are doing your part in order to spread this diversity because all these albums kind of have a different style to them, right?
Well, yeah, a little bit. I went back and did some old songs that I've always liked. Mm-hmm. And, one of the albums, I had a hit with Misty using a banjo. And at that time, it was unheard of to do a song like Misty in a bluegrass style. But it was successful. And so based on that success, I tailored one album. I call it Melancholy Fescue. And that's subtitled High Class Bluegrass. And I took songs that you would never expect to hear done in a bluegrass manner and did them with an orchestra in the background in a lot of cases. And so it was a lot of fun doing it. And I think a lot of people might really enjoy listening. So it's called, like I say, one of the albums, it's called Melancholy Fescue.
And in parentheses,
High Class Bluegrass.
Yep,
yes.
There you go. You are a mass appeal artist, and I think this particular album proves that all the more. And it's innovative. I mean, people shouldn't forget that you are and have always been an innovative artist. You break down barriers. You push the parameters. I hope you like my alliteration there.
But uptown.
But that's what you do, Ray Stevens, and you continue to do it. I'm curious. Again, classic hits, 5 albums in 1 year. Where do you get the inspiration? Do you just wake up one day and say, I'm going to reinterpret some old bluegrass hits? I mean, where does it come from?
I don't know. I just enjoy what I do, and it's really not a lot of work for me because, like I say, I enjoy it. So, uh, if I didn't do that, I don't know what I'd do.
Well, is your venue still closed down? Are there plans to reopen?
No, we opened. We're sticking our big toe in the water, so to speak, and we opened September 4th, just on Saturdays, and so far we've had 4 Saturdays of shows, and the crowds have been really good, especially since COVID is still out there and scaring people away. But we've had some really good crowds and had a lot of fun. So anybody listening, come to the cabaret. Right now we're open on Saturday nights, and we'd love to see you.
Now, we need to spell that out for them. It's CABA, capital RAY, cabaret. We don't want them to be confused with the Broadway musical of the same name or similar. Come to the cabaret, old chum. Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Yeah, no. I misspelled the word on purpose just to get my name in there. So
do you now, if people come on Saturday night, will they see you? Are you the featured performer?
Oh yeah.
Right,
yeah. I can't afford to hire anybody else.
That what a treat though, to be able to come and see you in person at your very own venue here.
Ray, I know your daughter Susie, whose last name is Ragsdale, and she's actually played our venue here in East Tennessee called The Station. And I was curious about the name change. I think you had changed your name maybe I guess early on. What's the story behind that?
Yes, you're hard to understand for some reason. Is this Billy talking?
Yeah. Billy. Yeah.
Sorry,
you're hard to understand, Billy. But
it's his accent here. He's got an accent. That's the problem.
I think you're referring to my daughter Susie.
Yeah, he is. He's a friend of your daughter.
The name. That's what I was. I never put her name with your name till as far as I thought. Well, didn't work.
Yeah, well, her name is Ragsdale, and that's my real name. But my name was changed by the first record producer that I ever had in 57, and 57, and he didn't like my last name, so he changed it. So
they used to do that a lot in back there in the day, didn't they?
Absolutely. Everybody, this one particular producer changed everybody's name. That he recorded.
I have to reveal, I don't think Billy even knows this, but my real name isn't Lee Zimmerman. Somebody changed that. It was really Lee Jones.
Lee Jones.
Lee Jones. Okay, well that's
no. That's what that was. Yeah, that was a bad joke. What I meant to say is a convoluted last name like Zimmerman. You wouldn't change it to that. You would keep it simple.
See.
Yeah.
Well, I was going for it. You had me convinced.
Yeah. It's my very dry sense of humor here. So again, going back 5 albums, and you tell us you have a box set coming out too. Oh my God, this man is an overachiever, Billy.
Yeah, really.
Well, the thing is, I'm working on volume. The four of those 5 albums. One of the albums is a new comedy album called "Ain't Nothing Funny Anymore," but the other 4 albums are half of a box set. Well, they're in a all boxed together, and it's called "Iconic Songs of the 20th Century," Volume 1.
The soundtrack of our lives.
Yeah. Right, subtitle "The Soundtrack of Our Lives," and I'm working on Volume 2, which will be out. And put them all together, and it'll be the complete set of iconic songs of the 20th century. I hope to hit on the hits of every decade in the 20th century.
Starting what, like in 1900, 1910?
1900, yeah. 1900 to 1910 would have been the first decade, I guess, and take it from there.
And the song list on Great Ballads, and I did hear that, and I just listened, man. One of the few albums I've heard I didn't want to just skip, all the songs are so good.
Yeah. And he has a very, very difficult attention span here, but he did listen to every song all the way through. That's a credit to you, Mr. Stevens.
Oh, God.
It's good songs. Great song.
I wouldn't listen to all the songs all the way through. Are you kidding?
So again, give us an example of a song from 1900 or 1910. I mean, that's before radio, before my time.
Well, I have those song titles written down. I haven't committed anything to memory, so therefore
okay.
I can't give you an example right now because I don't have that list in front of me.
Okay,
but,
all right, fair enough. I mean,
believe me, there were hits in the first decade of the 20th.
Wow. So did that take a lot of research on your part?
No, not really.
You knew it just off the top of your head?
No, I can't do it off the top of my head, but it's very easy to research things like that. What with the internet and all at our disposal, anybody can look up whatever songs were hits in any year you want to name.
Right. So you did do some research. This took a little research. Okay, all right. Kind of different, maybe from the average album, where you kind of know the songs. This way, you had to seek them out.
Well, yeah, but when I saw the title, I knew the song because they had to be big enough. Even back then, to have been played during my lifetime. So
right.
I knew.
I got you. Well, you weren't around in 1900, though, right?
No.
Okay. Ray, I look over your list of credits, the awards and the accolades that you've received over the course of your career, and it's pretty stunning. You have 2 Grammy Awards, 9 Grammy nominations. You're inducted to the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame, the Country Music Hall of Fame, the Georgia Music Hall of Fame, and the Christian Music Hall of Fame. And you have a star on the Music City Walk of Fame. And I mean, this is unbelievable. Do you have a big enough mantle to hold all these awards?
No, but I got a guy hired to go down. It's hard to say. Guy hired to go down to the Walk of Fame and with a broom and shoo off the dog.
I thought you were going to say something serious here.
No, because you never know where a dog will choose to go. I don't want him more on my star.
I would hope, though, that whoever's walking the dogs would not allow their dog to do that, or we'll have a little poop bag.
Yeah, people look off sometimes, and the dogs will take advantage.
I look off deliberately because I'm embarrassed when I walk my dog. I do. I admit it. So, So, all these awards that you've accumulated here, again, I mean, are you in awe of yourself? I mean, you say, wow, I mean, what a career.
Yeah, I have to take calm me down pills every now and then. I'm so excited.
Calm me down pills. And where can we buy those? Oh wait,
I'll make them up for you. Call me when you really get in bad straits. I'll send you a bottle.
That is so funny. That is so funny. Well, given your different personas, and I asked you this when I interviewed you a couple of months ago, but your early songs had, they were comedy, they were funny, they made people laugh. But when you started doing the serious songs, Everything is Beautiful and Misty, was it a little bit of a challenge to get people to take you seriously and say, look, I'm not just a comedian, I can do the serious stuff too?
Well, it is in the beginning, it is kind of, you have to, grab people by the throat and say, hey, listen, because in the beginning, even comedy's hard to get played sometimes because back, in the 70s and 80s, disc jockeys would say, well, we can't play these comedy records anymore. They're a fast burn, here today, gone tomorrow. So, a lot of records that I thought were good didn't get airplay and therefore didn't make it. But, a lot of people have their own ideas and, you finally get over that and get on through the maze, so to speak. And every now and then something will sneak through, even though there are barriers put up by mindsets that have no basis in reality, and then you say, "Aha, told you."
Right. And you have been able to say, ha ha, I've told you so many times throughout your career. I mean, the songs we've named, the work you continue to do. I mean, you're around, you're thriving, and some of these critics have fallen by the wayside, shall we say. You're still
Well,
doing it.
I don't know about that, but I just do what I know how to do, and I enjoy it. So there you go.
And I don't know how many people are aware of this, but you do so much. You're not only a performer and an entrepreneur and a songwriter, you're also a producer and arranger, and you've been on television, and you are a multifaceted individual. You're a Renaissance man. We should call you Renaissance Ray. I mean, really.
Okay. Renaissance Ray, that's me, boy. Yeah. Okay, good.
So again, you know what? You just seem like you never rest. You're doing all this stuff. And I would imagine in each of these different things that you do, you have to kind of be in a different mindset. Like when you're going into the studio to produce somebody else, I mean, you've got to be focused one way. When you're on stage, you're focused another way. Is it easy for you to shift gears like that?
Well, I don't shift gears. I stay in the same overdrive, and it works for just about everything you want to name.
Right.
Are you
Anyway.
do you play Tarzan now? You still swing up there?
Billy wants to know if you still swing like Gitarzan.
I don't know about that, but you give me a vine, we'll give it a shot.
I saw someone at your show swinging one day. That's what.
Really? You should have visuals. There are visuals.
I thought I saw a picture of. Yeah, maybe that was a long time ago. I thought it was a recent one.
Maybe it's photoshopped.
That was Garth Brooks, I think. He was swinging it from the balcony to the stage, I believe.
All right. Billy thinks it was you doing that.
But I'm a fan. I'm a fan since the days of all the songs. Now you probably everybody gets offended over like the Bridget the Midget and Ahab the Arab, and I can't remember them. I had those.
Well, Bridget the Midget was what didn't get a lot of airplay because here in the United States, because it was politically incorrect.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
England wasn't as strict back in those days, and it was a bigger hit in England than it was here.
Well, as a kid, I sung it. I just remember we all loved it. School days. We all big hit in our neighborhood.
Yeah, people play them and talk about them and laugh together.
Never even had any bad thoughts about it, really.
No, not at all. I mean, the fact that they made it to the top of the charts, despite hook or crook, these songs were chart toppers, and wow, wow. Now, dare I mention it? You are a young man at the age. Can we mention your age here?
Sure.
You are 82 years old, are you not?
That's right, 82.
And a lot of people at this age, and this is not a put down to anyone else, but a lot of folks would think about retiring or hitting the golf course or traveling, but you are still intent on what it is that you do, on working very hard. So
well, I've seen guys retire and they don't last very long after that. Sit around and die, so
right.
Don't do that.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
And I'm a terrible golfer, so there
okay, well that explains a lot right there. I think somebody asked Willie Nelson that same question, and I believe Willie Nelson is a little bit older than all of us here, and they said, well, Willie, you travel across the country, do you want to retire? And he said, why should I retire? I'm having so much fun. What's the point?
Well, Willie's older than me.
I know he is. I said that.
He's incredible. Wow.
He is incredible. So I guess the lesson to be learned here is that if you're having fun, why stop, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, and I keep mentioning this because I'm just so dazzled by the fact 5 albums in 1 year. I've said that 18 times during this interview, but this is very, very impressive. There are a couple of other Billy's telling me.
I
What
just,
do we do?
I just want to check with time, see how we're doing there. So I know Ray's got.
Oh, are we okay with time here?
Well, you about worn me out, but
Yeah.
you know.
I was going to ask you if you could just describe a couple of the themes of these other albums, Slow Dance and Nouveau Retro, What's Old is New Again, and Great Country I mean, that is self-explanatory, but these other two.
All the titles are self-explanatory. Slow Dance is an album full of songs that are good to slow dance to. And
that makes sense.
And Nouveau Retro, What's Old is New Again, is exactly what it says, because these are songs that I don't think a lot of people remember.
Okay.
And if they're listening to them for the first time, even though they're old, they're new. So, and Great Country Ballads is just what it says, Great Country Ballads.
You know, I suddenly feel very stupid here because I said, tell us what these albums are about. And yes, they are self-explanatory. And I deserve that, yeah. But what an amazing output. So in 2022, other than the fact you're going to put out the Iconic Songs Volume 2, will we see another 5 albums from you in 2022? Are you setting a standard here for yourself?
Yeah, you'll see another 5 albums, because I've got a bunch of stuff in the can that's still waiting to come out. And plus, if I'm going to finish great iconic songs of the 20th century, I'll have to do 4 more albums to do
that's
that.
true,
So,
to compile
so
it.
there you go.
And these 2 iconic song albums aside, I suspect we could do an entire anthology of your whole career. And that would be like a 347 CD box set, wouldn't it? That would be a biggie. Yeah.
Yeah, some of it's on wire, you know.
Yeah.
That was the first medium on which sound was recorded, I think. Was
There,
wire.
well, I wasn't going to say that, but
I've got one of those radios, wire radio.
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
You have a wire
Yeah,
radio.
no, and you're one of the first people that I've ever heard that knew. I've had a lot of people in the music, and they say, "What's that?"
Wow.
Yeah, or wire.
There's a real connection here now.
Yeah, still wire.
I feel the vibe.
Okay, sorry.
Well, Ray, again, thank you so much, not only for taking the time today, but more importantly, for all that you've given us throughout the years, and for reminding us that maybe we shouldn't take ourselves so seriously all the time. Maybe we need to lighten up, enjoy life, have a good time. And so thank you, man. Thank you for being you. What can I say?
Well, thanks for the interview, guys. It was really a lot of fun.
We're gonna send you out with just some applause here. You deserve the applause. The studio audience they're going crazy.
Yeah.
They're going
How do you
crazy.
get all those people in that little room?
Well, you know, we give out chocolates. You know, we have incentive
They're
here.
a COVID audience.
And Billy does a striptease. It's really weird. Don't go there.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why it's audio only.
Yeah. Well, sir.
All right, guys.
Thank you so much, sir. All the best and continued success. We'll always look forward to whatever you have to offer, Ray
Well,
Stevens.
thank you so much.
You take care, sir.
Yeah, so we're going to
Good
sign
to
on out
talk to
here.
you.
And big thanks to Ray Stevens, man. What a treat. And, of course, host here, Lee Zimmerman. Check out Lee's book, by the way. You know, he's a famous Americana author. Got a book called Americana Music, Voices, Visionaries of Pioneer and Honest Sound. All available on Amazon. Please like, share, and subscribe to my Backstage Pass on your favorite platform. And we'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
Happy trails.